But why, some say, the moon? Why choose this as our goal? And they may well ask, why climb the highest mountain? Why, 35 years ago, fly the Atlantic? We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other thing. Not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win. We choose to go to the moon.
I just flew in.
All right.
Welcome to World Blockchain Roundtable. I'm your host for today, John T. Swift-Die. If you know me, you might know me from Coffee with Den. And that's probably about it. And sometimes on this show as well. So let's get started. Today's episode is episode 94. What would your? I need to do first time hosting, so I want to make sure. I need to give out lot first, right? Or do I introduce everybody first?
Pick one.
All right, I'm gonna give out the lot and stuff first.
Dealer's choice.
Just an update from last week. Later, tokens. Each host from last week is receiving 93 lot. Each topic contributor from last week is receiving 58 lot. Last week's theme was Umbrella Promise White Paper nominated by I Am for I Am. And he received 58 lot for that. And these ownership tokens come with perpetual passive income, free edits, and governance votes. Theme of the week, what would your blockchain game show look like? Nominated by me, T. Swift-Die. And so let's get started. We're going to go ahead and introduce everybody, but we're going to do a little differently because this is a game show week. So we're going to do it a little differently. Amanda, if you want to roll the video for us.
Is this Scott? What is this?
Oh,
I did that in about 30 minutes this morning.
that's some groovy
Awesome work.
music.
That was cool.
Yeah. So,
Heck yeah. So that's who we are.
Yeah, that's who they are.
Is this a sitcom though, or is it a?
It's I don't know the difference between a sitcom and a game show. It's just people faking enthusiasm.
I like that. That's a winning idea.
Yeah. So normally we start off with talking about current events, but this time I think we're gonna mix it up, and we're gonna jump right into the first game show. And as you saw, we've got our contestants, Joe Dragon from Dragon Chain here. We've got Dave, aka Dave, in Distant. You've seen him on everything that ever shows up on Den. He's there. Den Dow, World Blockchain Roundtable, the creator of Coffee with Den. Probably on Super Happy, Lucky Dragon Chain Time, whatever it's called. Satoshi Sean, occasionally. Satoshi Sean, YouTuber about cryptocurrency, and I stalked his YouTube and Twitter page before I came here to learn more about him.
And you should too.
You called him AK Dave.
AK Dave.
If you know who the AK guy is, it's very funny. just type in AK guy. We all do look a little bit alike.
I like the suspense with the pitch. It's just like, look, there's something great and funny out there. Leave this show and go look at it.
Later, not
wait
right
till
now.
this is done.
Some homework for you.
Yeah.
Usually Lisa the Mighty Davis, but this
Yeah.
week it's Blockchain Butterfly Davis.
That's right.
And we've got Greg from Rivet here, who you see here all the time on everything. You know them. So let's jump into our first game.
All
This
right.
one
Like
is going
wearing
to be
actual rose-colored glasses. That's amazing.
You know, I didn't have these. They came out of a closet, and I don't know where they came from. So, whoever's these are.
Whoever left them. What kind of
it's a
parties
perfect-
happen at your house?
It's a perfect origin story.
Intervention there.
Nope. I thought I had heart-shaped ones. Maybe they just melted.
Oh,
and Greg and I totally coordinated our Hawaiian themed shirts today. But yeah, so let's jump into the first game. And this one's going to be all about Den. It's called Name the Layer, is what it is. All right. So we're going to see these people that come on Den and talk every week about what's going on. Let's see how well they actually know Den. All right. So this first one is called.
Oh, I got to buzz in. All
Real
right.
quick here, is this something that we need to know? Is this a shout out the answer, or is this a we need to buzz in?
This is going to be a buzz in, so that way we're
Okay.
not shouting
Very
over
clear.
everybody.
Okay, so we'll buzz in. The first to buzz in gets to answer first.
And-
All right.
We haven't done a dry run of this, so if the buzzing in doesn't work, we'll just go to yelling. at the
Oh,
top
so we're not doing
box.
a current events game show for the current events.
No, we're replacing it.
Okay. Yeah.
Dan.
I was like wondering what we're gonna do. Okay. Yeah. I got it.
So was I until I made it. But here it is. So here,
Find the
so
liar in the politician pack.
it answers all of them.
Oh,
So yeah, so all we're gonna do is we're gonna name the layer based on what we see on the screen.
Okay.
And go ahead and buzz in when you have the answer. What layer is that?
Oh,
Dave.
is that advice?
That is advice. That is the
Yeah.
advice layer.
Good, very good.
And apparently my paragraph text was supposed to go there. Great. This is the first one when you
All
click
right.
on layers. This is the first one at the top of the screen. All right, let's see if you guys know the next one.
Winning. Oh,
What layer is this? Extropian. I don't know who that is.
That is me, and I'm pretty sure that's the memes layer.
Huh. That is not correct. The next person to buzz in was Joe.
I'm gonna say random, but it's probably wrong.
It is not the random layer either.
All right.
It is not the random layer either.
buzzer's locked now. I can't buzz in.
Oh yeah. Here you go. Dave, who you got?
Humor, the humor layer.
It is the humor
Very good.
layer. That
Very
is the
good.
humor layer.
Memes was kind of cool.
Man, the master of layers.
I feel like memes was a good guess.
I look at them a lot. I was thinking memes too. I would have got that wrong. I'm glad I didn't buzz in at first.
This is what we do on Coffee with Dennis. We just look at the pictures of layers. So
We've been studying. Yeah.
kind of have a leg up. All right, your next one,
I can't answer this one.
Joe buzzed in first.
I'd give some
Really?
points. The
What-
Team Mighty layer, I would assume, right?
What is the name of the layer
The
again?
Team Mighty layer.
It is not the Team
Oh,
Mighty
no.
layer. That is not the name of the layer.
Oh no!
Greg, I think is the next one.
Is that the Lisa Mighty Davis layer?
That is not the actual name of the layer.
I'm glad actually.
Way too many
Oddly
possible
enough-
names, Lisa.
Satoshi Shan. What is the actual name of this layer?
It's just a mighty layer, isn't it?
It is just the mighty layer. It's just called mighty.
Very good. Good.
I lost my buzzer. Hold on.
Yeah, I didn't have it up. But I was like,
It's unlocked now. That's where I was like, I wasn't sure if it's better to have it on your phone or on the
No, like
computer.
I lost my tab of my.
And
I'm
Amanda, if
cheating.
you want to help me out and keep score, that'd be kind of cool. Or everybody just remember your own score.
Lisa, were you looking at your layer to see what the name was in the
No,
background there?
well, I couldn't see. No, I went to go look at din.social in the layers, and I had the screen covered up, so I couldn't even see that it was mine that popped up. So I totally got myself.
It's a cool
cheating.
logo.
I
Very cool
can't,
logo.
but I can't find the buzzer now. My tab for the buzzer. Do
But
I
you
have to
can
like
go to the
do
private
undo
chat
that?
and open a new one, maybe.
Maybe I have to do that. Oh, sorry, delay.
That's fine. You know what? During this time, do you have the post for this episode? And we can just take a little break here, and while we figure this
Lisa
out,
got cheating. Yes.
and we can go through the first question. Let's take a look at the first
Good
question.
idea.
All right, yeah, and then we'll come back and do some more fun.
Awesome.
Blockchain butt. Who is that?
Well, I meant butterfly. It didn't let me complete the name.
I gotta show this now.
It didn't have enough spaces.
I kind of want a character to be named that. In some kind
I don't know
of
if you can
web
share what
cartoon
I
now.
just posted there, man. What I just presented, even though I just had you change it to something else. Yeah, blockchain butt.
There we go. That's Lisa.
I'm there.
Lisa, aka Blockchain
You
Butt.
renamed mine.
Yeah, I didn't know who it was.
Ah,
I can't keep guessing. But yeah, and then
But
blockchain.
he knows who the blockchain butt is.
There, yes.
but it's in my tile.
Okay, that's fantastic.
Joe, you're disconnected.
All right. Yeah, let's read the first question and
Cool.
and take a look. So first question is, can you scroll down a little bit, or is that the whole question? Maybe it's
From Jacob Wayne.
From Jacob Wayne. Question. My question is this: what do you think about the following? Okay, you said question twice essentially. Great. Since the game show is on a blockchain, viewers can risk their tokens by betting on contestants' outcomes of the game. Choices made by contestants, the possibilities are endless. So, in that scenario, you'd have layers on layers. There would be the layer 1 game happening with contestants in a live feed. Layer 2 would be people betting on these outcomes, etc. And layer 3 would even be people betting on the layer 2 bets. You can also have a layer of mining. Is that what that says? Yeah, that would revolve around how much activity is happening in all layers and on the network while the show is streaming. That's actually super exciting.
That's
and a lot
kinda
more.
cool.
Yeah, and a lot more thought out than what I did.
You could also do things like where the what do you want to say, like a Family Feud style, where it's just a survey. It isn't truth. It's what do you think everybody's going to say? What are they going to vote?
Yeah.
The entire network, right? That would be kind of cool, because then we could be betting on what they are going to say.
I like the idea too of like people betting on people who are betting on the actual events. Like, so yeah, people bet on sports and game shows and stuff like that. But then betting on the bettors, like who watches the Watchmen's, but who bets on the bettors.
Yep.
Like you could be like, this guy always gets it right, or this girl doesn't, or whatever, like
Just a ton
bet
of cool
for or
stuff you can
against.
do.
This is a great gambler. My money's on this gambler.
But it
What
would be so
totally
much
excites me
easier
about it,
to
and this is gonna
manipulate the
sound
bettors than manipulate the game. You know what I mean? Through like through like ads and pop, you could kind of sway and push people in a certain direction psychologically.
Yeah.
Whereas a game show or a sporting event, it's all kind of more pure. When it comes to what the
I want to
outcome
know
is.
how that meme fits with how this picture fits with the subject. I love it, but that whiteboard
it does pretty awesome fit. Well, I mean, actually, there is kind of a point to that, if I may guess at it, because you
Please
can really make.
Wait, I want to bet on what he says.
You can make these games
Hang on, I want to bet if Sean's
very
right or not.
wrong in terms of perverse incentives with blockchains, because
And then
it's
we all go back
immutable,
to
right? And you
Greg
have
and
the
he's like,
registry
"Oh, I
of
forgot
the
what it
whole
was."
history. Right?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Okay,
I can
you
get
have
it.
to implement things like
It's a
mental
stretch.
poker and Samira's secret sharing just right to design your game.
I think I think it's just a cool picture that gets attention. That's
So-
why I put pictures.
I think it's simpler than that. I think he just thought that we'd have to fuck around and find out how this would work.
This is
I-
cool.
Maybe I
I
just
did.
thought this question was going to get us yelling at each other.
I actually talked to Jacob Wayne before this to ask him about the picture, and he said it was just a cool picture he wanted to put on
Okay,
there.
very good. Very good.
So Joe, you
That's a
get
really
the
cool
you get the
picture.
point for that. Who bet on Joe on having the right answer?
I bet on Sean. I lost.
All right, Joe, take it, racking in the points. Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
think-
that's That's cool. I like what Joe said too about the Family Feud thing. It's popular in chat. It looks like too, because that's the thing where you can prove that like when the surveys happened and that they were genuine surveys and they weren't just somebody saying, "Oh, here's our data for the day," and you make it up.
Kid and learning that's how it worked, and it was the audience. And I'm like, how do you really know? Because it's not factual. It's not like some kind of study. It's not statistics, or it's just take our word for it. This is what it is. And I remember being like 5 and be like, that seems a little.
That it's
the Harvey Weinsteins of Family Feud will be pissed when that comes out.
The idea of like having to read the crowd too is interesting, because that's a little bit of that's sort of what we experience on Din. Like when you post a piece of content in a particular layer, you have to guess how it's going to be received by that audience.
Yeah.
So if your audience is like who the survey is for, you kind of have to be like, well, what city am I in? What's the demographics? What do they think?
Yeah.
Know your audience. You asked like, what's your favorite condiment? What's the it's going to vary dramatically what state you're in. They're not going to say hot sauce. In
do you think if you said it to like certain ridiculous places, you'd get stereotyped answers?
I don't know.
Yeah.
By the way,
but then I was also thinking that when you're talking about where these shows are filmed, you're talking about like LA or New York. That's a pretty good group of tourists. So you are getting kind of a better, survey group, because it's people from everywhere. You probably have even, foreigners in there.
By the way, that's probably the reason that you would want to use blockchain, because you could prove it. And I think Dave already said that, but that whatever the subject is, you can prove that this is what the actual answer was, because that they were probably manipulating the answers behind to make sure that whoever they wanted to win would win. So
Coca-Cola paid that, like the top 10 beverages to drink, like number 1 is soda, right? And number 6 was water, or something like that.
You could actually have the sponsors pay bribes to the game show contestants.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking that too. Or it'd be that's easy to kind of manipulate, but also back on the
it could be a fun part of the game.
South, everything is Coke. I remember I went.
That's the Midwest.
Dating some girl. We went over to her house for a barbecue, and she's like, "What do you want to drink?" We have like 8 different Cokes, and I was like, "New Coke? Do you still have new Coke?" And she was like, "No, we got Dr. Pepper, we got Coke, Pepsi." I'm like, "So you have like different soda?" She goes, "Yeah, well, Coke."
That's more a Midwest thing. In the South, don't they call everything pop?
No, that's a northern thing.
For that.
That's like an Ohio area.
Northern Oklahoma, everybody pretty much says you want a Coke.
We need like a dialect oracle to modify the English language.
You say pop, everybody turns to you like Vision of the Body Snatchers. They're like,
guys,
where are you from, sir?
Slang terminology, the game show. So
there you go.
I think what we're coming up with though is that blockchain can make game shows more real and more like verifiable. Yep. So because like if there's a real actual cash prize, it will be helpful to like bring some certainty to the, like that there's nobody's tipping the scales and that kind of thing.
Yeah. Think of all that.
Same for like talent shows and stuff like that, really too.
Oh,
was that Lisa?
I was just saying there's like a bunch of like documentaries or movies talking about like there was a big scam on. I was trying to think of all the shows Sean and I were talking about it the other day. Jeopardy. That there were like even the Wheel of Fortune. There was like a scam behind it or something. There was a big one.
It was
like one of the first TV scams.
Price is Right. Remember, Sean, you were talking about the Price is Right. They pulled a kid in, and
that's very interesting. Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
that was, I think, as far as I can remember. If you guys can remember anything before that, when it comes to Hollywood and TV, that's the first scandal I think that ever really came out. Was the $64,000 question being, manipulated and scammed on a game show, and that's all trust. But that because like they had those headphones on, and they're supposed to be there so they can't hear, but they were actually being told stuff and hearing stuff. So it's all
imagine that.
Yeah. So that was
someone in chat saying that Pimp My Ride was a big scam. I didn't know that. What happened with that? Does anybody have a?
I don't think the cars worked. all right, come on, think about it. They're like, look, we're gonna put a fish tank in your motor. It's like,
After
no,
we
dude.
steal it from you, first of
Yeah.
all, we're gonna
Right.
Yeah, Pimp My Ride was a
There are
huge
probably
scam.
bigger ways or bigger, easier ways to lose your money over on Binance.
Yeah.
And then like, I don't know if you guys ever follow, but like the Extreme Home Makeover, like
Yeah.
so many of those people lost
Terrible
their
stories.
houses
Yeah.
because they couldn't pay like the taxes on them, and then I had like huge
Yeah.
electric
Oh.
bills they couldn't
Or
afford
they
and stuff
wouldn't
like that.
finish them too. I have a friend of mine, one of my patrons. She was telling me that her like sister-in-law or something, they came in and did like a renovation, but they left a huge mess. They only did what looked good on camera, and they
Yeah.
ended up
Weird.
destroying and leaving a bigger mess than what they fixed or whatever.
That's
Yeah,
sort of what
Nice of you to
Hype
tell
Freak
me
is
they gave
saying.
away those exploding Pintos from the 70s.
Yeah,
You
give you
mean
a.
Vegas?
That's kind of what
There's
Hype Freak is saying in
They have
chat
every
about
game show
that
now.
as well.
They're required to have
Yeah.
a tax person that
Oh,
whenever
neat.
you win anything, they automatically counsel you whenever, because if you win like a $40,000 car, you don't really think about it until months later when it's tax
You
time,
have to pay
and that's
that.
$40,000 that you have to pay
And
They
tax.
could just play that, Sean. They could just play the opening clip from Shawshank Redemption where he gets the beers, right? Like just to teach people about it.
Or the one where it comes out of the door.
Any last thoughts on Jacob Wayne's question?
No, I
before
just
we
think
get
it's.
back
I just think it's a really good idea to introduce like layers upon layers of secondary, tertiary markets and stuff like that, where people
Yeah.
can all just kind of like. That sounds like an insane
Well,
circus, but it's the kind of
Well,
insane circus
and by
that
the
can
way,
only be organized
imagine
properly
it
with
It doesn't
blockchain
have
stuff.
to be bets. They can be just games within games. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't
Right.
have
Yeah.
to refer to it as a
When you
bet.
throw the word bet
We-
on there, I was going to say that makes you not really a game show anymore.
Yeah, if
I mean,
And
you can
for
literally
make it
be
into a game
non-games
without it
even,
being a
right?
bet.
Like
So.
that's the neat thing about it is you can sort of make up complex structures and people can be in on what they are, right? Like the rules can get way more wacky when you have a blockchain coordinating everything because it doesn't get mixed up. So you can do, you can do crazy stuff, literally like a survey show where you're trying to guess the thing, but there are sponsors bribing you to give the wrong answer, right?
Hyperion
That would
Frequency
actually
asked
be
a
pretty
funny question. I
entertaining.
don't know if he's joking or not, but
No, I'm not
how-
actually joking.
How
I
are
think
they
this is a
allowed to
pretty clever
tax
idea.
winnings?
Oh, it's income.
Oh, tax winnings.
income.
It's considered a windfall. It's,
Yeah, I know,
it's
but
an
it
income
just-
tax.
And that question, if just itself, is hilarious.
Yeah.
How are they?
How are they allowed?
we let
'Cause they
them-
have guns.
We let them tax it.
Oh yeah,
You know,
'cause-
when you're
yeah.
in your taxes, if you read it, when you do your taxes, there's a question that asks you if you've taken any bribes. They don't
What?
care. I swear to God, look it up. They ask you if you've taken any bribes
There's
or
one
had
on
income
theft.
My accountant's
from
never
illegal
asked me that.
activity, like selling drugs or anything.
All right, but
Wait,
we
that
should move on.
that actually kind of makes sense though when you think about it.
Okay.
We should move on. We've only gotten through how many layers?
Yeah, let's go. Well, we're not gonna do all the layers, all right?
Okay. No, I'm not saying we should.
There's
Everybody get into the
152.
long haul.
Yeah, thanks to Den, you are now automatically subscribed to all of the layers. So now you have to know all of them.
This is
No
true.
All right,
excuses.
let's go back to the game show. Let's check it out.
Hell yeah.
Right, so we had Mighty Layer. All right,
Yeah, I won.
make sure all my buzzers are clear. We're good. All right, next slide. What's the
How did I miss that?
Joe's first.
I assume it's
I love my face on that one.
What's the
Go there.
question? Did
Oh,
we even
what's-
say the question? You should lock
what's
the buzzers. I have a beef.
What's the
You
name
should-
of this layer? It's the same question every time.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Name that layer.
Joe,
Oh,
what's the name of this
I'll name
layer?
it's the Gainesville layer, right?
It is the
I
Gainesville
assume.
layer. This is the
Hoping the timing.
this is the banner for the Gainesville layer.
That is the
Oh,
banner for the
okay.
Gainesville layer, and isn't that not
It's
magnificent?
not the logo anymore.
I love that photo of you,
That
Dave.
is awesome.
I like
created
John's
this.
photo in the top right.
Yeah, that's when I dyed my hair during COVID, and then I made this I think during a Coffee with Den episode, so that's why like Gravity Crab just has his screenshot from StreamYard because I didn't have a picture of him.
It was awesome.
All right, so yeah,
You're
this
selling
is the
1950s
Gainesville layer.
Oreos with
Yay.
that face. That's awesome.
Yeah, looks like
Right.
Gainesville to me.
All right, next layer. Name this layer.
Oh,
What is
Dave,
that?
what layer is this?
Is it tabletop RPGs?
Nope, it is not tabletop
damn,
RPGs. Satoshi.
Game.
Sean. It is not the games layer either. Greg, you were next to
Is
us.
this the tabletop gaming layer?
Wow.
That's what
No.
Dave said. It is not the tabletop gaming
No,
layer.
I use a different name. You're right.
Sean.
Your chest
Contest.
is all over that.
It is the contest layer.
Ah.
This is the contest layer.
Nice.
In there, somebody I forget their name. I think it's just contest. Maybe is the person's name, but they give out like chess puzzles you can do and win matter every day.
That's right.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
And has been for a long time. So heck yeah.
Very
Yeah.
consistent. Really great. All right, next one. Name the layer.
Why is there an
Dave,
Can't
what
re- I can't
layer?
remember the word.
Den support?
This is Den support. This is the Den support layer.
I was like, why is there an S on
My
it?
buzzer
Oh,
didn't
okay.
work.
I
No?
don't, Lisa, I don't
I'm
know
having
what to
so
tell you.
many
I-
problems.
I
I
don't,
I
feel
hit
like that
the
was like a
space bar.
freebie for Dave.
Because the game was set up for people.
I would have been wrong anyway because I was going to say Dragon Chain.
I should be playing with a handicap over here. I'm
yeah.
too good at this.
All right. Next layer. What layer? Joe,
Oh,
what
count
layer?
down.
Is
It's my favorite layer, the awe layer.
this is
Aw.
the all layer. This is the all layer.
I don't know how you could have known.
It is
Whoever
adorable.
created that was a genius, by the way.
Yeah, some of these are very on the nose, some aren't. You know. All right.
There's a lot of interesting drama around the awe layer. That's why I remember it. So
Really?
Yeah, it has history. Yeah, that
It's
one's got
ridiculous.
history.
That's ironic.
I really want to know what the drama is, but we'll talk about it later.
You have to go to the all layer to find out.
it's actually interesting. If you, I mean, if it would matter, it would be interesting to hear because it's so funny.
Yeah,
We don't have
they tested some systems for us.
I feel like it's a really anodyne concept, though. So it's just like. It's
Now
the
here's a
weirdest place
question,
to
real
have
quick, for
drama.
just for if it's okay to just ask this as the question. If you went to the awe layer, just as an I want to see cute pictures of puppies and kittens and little ducklings and whatever, right? You would expect that. Would you care? Would there be any interest or care to you that, oh, wait a minute, do you actually own that kitten? If you don't own that kitten, I don't want to see it. So which
Yeah.
party, which group would you in? And that's what it was all about.
The debate over original
We're
content
not
or not.
Twitter yet,
Yeah.
right? Like
Right.
that's going to limit the supply of cute animals.
I want to
Yeah,
straight.
good point.
I want to straight up or down from everybody. Not if it's allowed, because it's obviously allowed, and anybody that thinks that is wrong. But like, is it better if it's your animal? Just a straight up or down. Dave, you first.
Yeah, it's better. That's
It's better.
sure. Yeah, it's better. Like it's more interesting. Like, oh, this is yours. Like now I can ask you a question about your cat. What's its name? Where'd you get it? Is it always cute or is it mostly dumb and you got a good shot?
Satoshi, is it? It doesn't matter if it's your. If it doesn't matter if it's your animal.
No, I don't think so.
Greg,
Why?
yeah.
I mean, you're not there to you're there. You know what I mean? You're there to look at cats and cute stuff. It's
Yeah, I'm not the
Right.
pet's agent. I don't
Like
care.
it could
It's just
literally
a
be an
picture.
optical illusion that makes you feel the word awe, and it would still work.
That wasn't the question,
Doesn't have to be
Greg, but
cat.
Yeah, I was going to say those are
But
two
thanks.
different
And
questions.
that's also a different layer. There's a layer that's
No,
just an
I'm-
optical illusion as their
Okay, definitely.
as their image.
It's like walking up to the Mona Lisa and be like, "Was she actually real?
Yeah.
If she was,
Yeah,
then
right.
this is the piece of
Lisa,
shit."
what do you think? Does it
It's like
matter
hating on
if
people
it's
by printer stuff.
It depends on what the question is because you asked one question to Dave, but then
If-
Sean
oh,
gave
no,
an answer about. Are we talking about in this layer the issue that they had,
yeah?
or do we
is-
care if a picture is cuter because it's our animal?
Not because it's your animal. Like if somebody posts a picture of a
Joe.
duck, of a cute duck or cat or dog in the awe layer, is it
I do
better?
not care.
Is it better if it's their pet, or do you not care either way?
If I know the person, I like that. Like I feel like then I get to know them more. So I
Yeah,
like knowing
Dave
more
said
about
that. I mean,
people.
it makes it better.
But
You're
so
not
then
going
it
there
does
to
make
look
it
at
better.
A
But I'm not
specific
going
person.
there to learn about that person. I'm
What
just
do you-
going there to look
Also,
at
what
cute
about
things.
cute exotic animals you're not allowed to own? Those have to be in there too, right? Like who doesn't want cute baby lions?
Yeah, and then it's probably worse if you own like All right, look, I
It might
own,
even be illegal.
I own all these endangered animals. Don't tell anybody.
Like, you have
That's
to have an
worse.
anonymous activator
Can I
there
answer?
after that.
Can I answer?
All right.
It is obviously
Yeah.
better if it is your animal, for sure. The issue, though, and the missing variable in that question is, what if it's your animal, but it's not cute? If it's freaking an ugly, people posting turtles and crabs and undersea creatures and shit are not fucking cute. Okay, and
Then they get
They
downvoted.
open his mind.
I mean,
okay.
Then they get downvoted, right?
That's
Yeah,
where you
that
go to
was what
find
they
out
done.
over
how.
people, reptile people, man.
I love
All right,
it.
sorry
All
about
right,
that.
we're gonna move on to the next question.
Okay.
This is the same questions as the ones before, where you just
buzzers.
name the layer. You just buzz
Buzzers
in
are
and
locked.
name the layer.
Okay.
Name that layer. All right.
Gotcha.
You got to unlock
Buzzers
the
are
buzzer.
locked, you know.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
All right, Joe, what layer is this?
GNU Linux, maybe.
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
GNU Linux.
It is the GNU Linux layer, and I think that logo is pretty sick. I don't know about you guys. I think it's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
It's
I-
okay.
he's
It's
a very
another-
expressive little beast.
It's another one that I made. But here
Yeah,
we go.
the GNU tux. Yeah.
There it is. All right, next question. What layer is this?
Shit. Okay.
Ooh.
Satoshi Shan.
Is
what do you
that
got?
that anime?
It is the anime
Oh.
layer. That is the anime layer. All right, next one. We only got like a few more of these. So.
All right.
What layer is this?
Oh, I know that one.
Dave, what layer is that?
That is the eroticism layer on
It
Bin
is the
Social.
eroticism layer.
That's hilarious.
It is the erotic.
I
That
didn't
is
even know
actually
there
a
was an
picture.
eroticism layer.
That is a picture of Dave. Actually, it's
Yeah,
it's weird.
that's what it looked like from the
You-
from the other angle. Yeah.
He's different from behind. None of you have seen him from behind. That's actually what he looks like. He's half an avocado.
Was your dad a dick butt? I mean, like,
All right. Lisa, blockchain butt is the first one to log to buzz in on this one. Lisa, what is the name of this layer?
Coffee with Den.
It is the Dave Show.
The
I'm so
Dave
sorry.
Show.
It is the Dave Show.
What?
I'm so sorry. That is incorrect.
You were right, Lisa. John's trying to be cute.
Oh.
And I had that pre-planned, so I didn't wait till you. I didn't just type that in now. I didn't wait till the one time you buzzed in first to do it. All right, I think that's it. We'll find out.
Just trying to mess
Oh, yeah.
with me.
Oh yeah.
What is the name of this?
Oh,
The
we
block.
were
block.
told the GNU
I
is a
got
new
it.
pick.
Satoshi Shan's the first person to buzz in. What is the name of this
Wrong
layer?
answers only.
Roundtable layer.
What was that?
The World Blockchain Roundtable layer.
It is the World Blockchain Round Table layer. I think I had something funny there originally, and then I got rid of it. But yeah, that's it for this
I'm
game.
doing way better than I thought I would.
Yeah, good job. You guys crushed it. You do know your layers. Good job. I don't know if we have a score, but I think Dave won.
Yeah.
I would say so.
nice.
I think
Okay.
I won. I'm pretty,
That was a lot
I
of
got-
fun,
yeah.
man.
We all won something.
Yes, we all
We're
won.
all winners.
We get a participation
The
NFT.
winner is the
Well,
audience.
I mean, we certainly probably did the very first one of these, I think.
Is Amanda keeping score?
I'm.
Oh,
Well,
Amanda knows.
I kept waiting for you to pull up the AMA layer, though, and really mess with people.
yeah.
Dave got 4. I got 3. I got more than 3.
You got at least 3.
4, 5, 6, 7.
No, yeah, I got at least 3.
I think that's right.
Who answered contest?
Who answered the contest layer?
I'll take my
Dave.
win.
Dave, didn't you say the contest layer?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
The
Dave,
contest?
the
No.
No, I said contest.
That was
Oh.
Sean. Sean said contest.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, you
I-
said
a
tabletop.
tie.
Yeah.
Me and Greg and I thought it was the same layer.
I
The-
said
the
gaming
tabletop.
first, and then I went around. Nobody got it, and then I got contest.
So Sean and Dave won.
Are tied. All right. Well, we have another game that we'll get to
All right.
later. We're gonna go head back to the post and
So-
check out the next question.
Real quick, guys, who had the buzzer on the phone versus the browser?
I was browsing.
Me
I
too.
used the
I'm a
browser.
computer
Phone would have
person.
been faster because I got to move tabs to get over to the buzzer. Yeah.
All right. So let's take a look at the next question.
Cool. I'll be right back. I'll let you guys take this for a minute.
So I don't know what making it a baking contest. Okay, where your mouse is, I should follow that. The next one is coming in from Green Tea. what kind of challenges or tasks would be included in your ideal blockchain game show? And how would you use the blockchain technology to enhance the gameplay experience for both contestants and viewers?
I think we've all talked about the transparency and verifiability. It's funny you can make up words. Of certain things in the game it would help the experience, I think, for contestants and viewers.
I think the possibilities with using NFTs as prizes and being able to digitally engage with people would be a cool way to use blockchain in a game.
That would be a cool way to like guarantee payouts, because I know that's like a big deal. Like people like, oh, I won, and then not getting paid out for however long. Even in like contests and stuff, like tournaments and things like that, where it's not necessarily a game show, but it's a game that they're playing and it's televised for money, to guarantee that they're getting paid out at a certain time, as opposed to going years without ever seeing money.
So what I would do is this. I would, one, go with the bribe thing, right? Because that has to happen. Sponsor bribes to the contestants instead of sponsored questions. Like we just want to see a tally of what is being bribed. That is step one of this game show. Step two, right, is a DAO that votes to change the rules after every round, or not.
Yeah, I do like that. But even a DAO could be manipulated if you use the blockchain for the to replace what would be pseudo randomness, then no one can predict which game is next. No one can predict, various parts of the the equation. And and if it's a drawing, even then it's like, say if it's not a game show, but something like a McDonald's drawing for the or for the Monopoly game or something else. It's a way to prove that it's not manipulated.
Yeah.
Punchline of game. It's a game about lobbying, because what you actually allow is for the panel of voters who are making the rules to receive bribes from the people who get the bribes from the brands.
I was just thinking about like security and stuff, and with the buzzer system that we've got here, how do you know the timing of it was really what the host said and stuff like that?
Yeah.
But more interesting and less related to security and more related to like fun, I guess, is what if that buzzer system went into a mempool and the audience were basically like deciding like a mining operation, like how Ethereum works or something like that, or how Bitcoin works, where it's like which transactions get to go in first. I don't know. Let's let the audience mines it somehow, or
it literally could give you an order. Like every single question, it would be instead of it being a timing issue, it would be like what you say, where literally it would be a random selection who gets to answer first, and hopefully if they you might get picked, if you have the answer you get it, something like that.
Yeah, and it also doesn't have to be fair to be fun. So you guys were talking about bribing the audience members or bribing the participants or something like that. It could be like influencing people. Like what if the audience got to choose who gets to answer, or something like that.
Or they change the rules to like make somebody have to skip the next turn or something like that.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It's like a college drinking game with cards, right? Like you make up rules and you go.
That's what I used to do. In college, I had a game called the John Branch game, where I would take a deck of cards or whatever I could find, because it was created because I didn't have a deck of cards, so we took Uno cards, and I would just flip it over and then make up a rule for the card and then tell somebody to drink. But it was nice because then I could pick. It's like, oh, you're not drinking enough. You have this one. Oh, you're taking it light today. I can make sure I skip you. And like make sure everybody's having a good time while just making up rules for every card.
So you could just socially engineer the crowd that way.
Socially engineered
like a game of drunken Jenga that never falls over.
Yeah, it was fun.
Pretty much.
I don't know if you ever watched like shows like Survivor and stuff, right? When they have all like the behind the scenes stuff that you can't see, right? So you don't know what's actually edited and what's not. So having on the blockchain, like, yeah, it might be edited when it comes to television, but you can see all the bribes and everything that's going on behind the scenes to get to where you have this like really cool show.
And the
Right.
thing that you can do with blockchain that you can't before is because of the transparency, you can have game elements where, let's say it was team based or even coalition based, and Dave and I come up with some idea to finagle something, and so it's on blockchain and it's not exposed yet. But when it is exposed and it comes into the gameplay, we can prove that we actually arranged it. Right. I mean, you can, and it's just a pattern that is
you can also do
interesting. So,
Joe, you could do sudden reveals where, for instance, you keep all of the bribes private until the very end of the bribing round.
You're really into this bribing thing, though.
Yeah.
No, I think it sounds funny.
Yeah.
Bribing for fun and for profit. That's what this is. Yeah.
Right. No,
John, it's interesting you brought up like Survivor.
No,
and
it's
stuff.
ironic because I'm literally setting up the opposite of the internet right now, where like the advertisers don't tell you that they're spending to buy your data. Your data's going away. You're putting it out there anyway because you don't give a fuck. You're playing the game, right? Like, it's the opposite of the internet in a game show. That's why I like it.
But John, you brought up Survivor and like The Amazing Race. There are all of these shows. Big Brother. It's a that whole genre came into being during the writer's strike because they couldn't get actors or writers to make professional TV. So they came up with this reality TV, which that's why it exploded, and everybody loved it. And I remember I was watching something with my son, and he was like, "Oh, I hate this fake stuff." I'm like, "It's reality TV. What is it?"
This is everyone's
like, no, this is all scripted.
real life,
It
right?
became so obvious, though, like after the first year, that everything was so
you
scripted.
take a step back, and then now, because with this show, I've just been thinking about all the scandals. The McDonald's scandal was huge, and then so many. I mean, you think about when you go to the store, although there's always something, Mountain Dew or Purina or whoever. There's always some kind of contest, and you never know. I mean, you open your bag of Doritos, you look, you didn't win, but if that was all somehow verifiable, you would be able to check on it. It's a big. That's huge.
Yeah, I used to play the Monopoly game, the McDonald's Monopoly game thing a lot. I was like, I was excited about that game. You know what I mean? And so, like, if I could validate that it's fair, I would keep doing that, and I would keep giving them.
It wasn't even real. Everyone's trying to get that one piece, and then
Park Place and whatever the other one is.
The Pepsi Points fighter jet,
or they would make it and then give it to someone.
Yeah, I watched.
It's like
you could actually make sure you got the fighter jet.
Like, I'm going to give all my money to charity, my charity. So it's like that, But then recently, most of the scandals have been with those reality TV, like Survivor game shows, which there's like a lot of money. You win like $1 million or something. It's a huge thing, and a lot of these people most people are actors now that go on there, but that's a big payout. But so it should be completely above board and pure, but it's not. So much of that is scripted. So much of that is they kind of scam the contestants and make them think that they're competing.
Yeah,
but it's also manipulated. And if that was and all that's just really coming out now, because Survivor and stuff has been around for so long. It's like the government. They'll tell you what they did 20 years ago because they don't think
right.
Well, hey, 75 years ago.
The other thing they can do is like drag in some cool stuff from other blockchain projects. Like there's some projects that you could come in, like go out and grab that would solve that problem.
And you theoretically, back in the heyday of blockchain, you could have a blockchain game show where the sponsors would give away stuff related to their blockchain. It'd be amazing, right? Mm-hmm. I want to add this that. As an example, I guess I should.
One of 6.
Oh, yeah.
I should show this. So this was during the time, if you remember the Tron giveaway, he gave away a Tesla, right? Right. And if I remember correctly, and I'm probably, who knows if I remember this entirely correctly, but if I remember correctly, they actually edited what was supposed to be a live stream when the choice was generated by a website. It was like, oh, it's a random number generator, an atomic clock, and this is the winner. And that it was not the real winner, something, right?
Yeah.
And so anyway, we put this together.
Which they were pissed when Elon Musk endorsed Doge.
We had a big AMA, and I gave away this little bitty keyboard that I had made by hand. It's a nerd thing, but we put this on chain, so it was literally on the blockchain. It was on Bitcoin. We declared a block height of 613125 in the Bitcoin, which was supposed to happen in the future. So there was no way for us to predict what that block would look like, right? We put it on chain. We put all the entries, and there were how many? There were 63 entries from all the people who had asked questions on this live stream, right? And essentially, because it wasn't automated, you could go and run this code, and there was a website that you could run it on, and it would tell you which entry won once this block was created on Bitcoin. So you take the block hash from that block. No way it's provable that no one could predict it, including us who made the contest. And it was really funny because the guy who won was Isosceles Kramer, and it was one of these two entries that won. He pinged the community. We were all in a meeting. All of the company was in an all hands meeting at the time, so we didn't even see when the block came. And this guy pinged the community saying, I think I won. And some other people checked it. So it was self-verified and then verified separately by the community. That we were lucky because the guy was freaking local. He lived in town. So it would have obviously been something where people would have said, hey, you guys cheated to give it to some, your buddy down the street.
Yeah.
But we could literally prove.
Because that might have been suspicious that it just happened to be somebody who lived locally.
I remember all that happening and everything. I do.
So,
yeah.
Anyway, that's the type of stuff. You can use that type of thing in so many different ways.
Well, anyway. Another interesting one
really cool.
too, probably before we move on, just want to throw this one in there. Have you guys seen the rug game yet? Because if you haven't, it's awesome.
I've heard of it, but no.
And there's a little gaming manifesto in front of it that says, people want to have excitement, right? And you can actually make these things exciting for everybody with the blockchain. Because when they say excitement in that game, they mean like you stand a chance of winning an ass load of money or losing your hat arbitrarily.
So risk and gain. Yeah,
you can add some risk to it, but you can also add a massive reward. People can actually
risk and reward. That's what I meant to say. Yeah,
at the same time.
Is this on the blockchain? The rug game?
Mm-hmm. Fair warning before you put it on. It has a really loud background music that's funny, but will shock you.
Have you seen The Game starring Michael Douglas and Sean Penn?
Yeah.
Yes, it's
a really
quite
good one.
Nope.
Are we playing it or I don't know?
I hate movies from that era, Sean.
Okay.
I don't know what era it was.
So I want to.
Michael Douglas could be like 50 years.
The host wants to do something.
I want to ask a question to the panel, right? Before we move on to the last game we have. Does it matter if it's real or not? Because we're watching this stuff to enjoy it. Like if we're not betting on it, if we don't have any money or investment, do I care that Survivor is edited and not reality television?
I care because it's too much of the world is fake. I mean, I'm looking now at politics. Politics aren't real. None of the shit that we see
Cops
is real.
was scripted back in the day. There's never been a real reality show.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, but do we care? Like, are we demanding and asking for something that we've never had, never needed, and like honestly, we think we want, but really, we'd rather just have quotes around our reality television.
No, I'd rather have reality television be reality television and soap operas be soap operas.
But then you'd have to run like a 24-hour reel with no edits.
Exactly.
You have.
Yeah, they still on all those on like
no,
Big Brother.
That's
they charge you for that. Yeah, spend like $10 and you can see everybody walk around all the time. Yeah, you're locked into all the feeds.
The difference between
at least on Big Brother
TV and 24/7 watching somebody in Big Brother-esque is that the bullshit of reality TV is that they pull the contestants or the characters aside and tell them you need to talk about this person in this way, drama. Oh no, do it again.
They don't angry, do that.
Cry.
They don't plan it for them.
Bullshit that is like okay,
They do.
Those people make it up themselves in advance together. It is
Have
a
you ever done this?
it's
I've
a
been on
conspiracy
one.
written,
They fucking pushed the open
script.
source money into a reality TV script. All that shit was exactly what you see in reality TV. They don't do the just be yourself. Okay, that's one take. It's good. It's acting.
I
and
think
it's
that
ridiculous.
at least with, for example, the Real Housewives, those ladies are writing the script collusively together before each season.
I will say I mean, I know people that like produced and worked on those things. They tell them what to do. They give them a script. There is a storyline. The producers are telling them what to do and how to say it.
I think it does matter very much.
Takes.
I think it matters, and I'll tell you proof of that. One of the most popular shows, and also it will make you probably lose some faith in humanity because it's a terrible, horrific story. But there was a reality show. It was in Japan, and they took a guy. Had to have a contest for you to win. They took you. You didn't know what it was. They took off all your clothes. You're naked on TV, and they put you in a room and give you magazines. This guy got magazines. He could only live and survive with food, everything. He had nothing. He could only live on what he could get.
This is a game show, Sean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Magazines. And it went on. The guy almost died like multiple times because he had malnutrition. He ate dog food, and everybody watched. I mean, it was super popular. It
was a reality show, not a game show.
And this guy went crazy, right? And then they did messed up stuff to him where they're like, they would like tell him he's getting something and then not, or they like when he won, he had to get like a $50,000 worth of free stuff in order for him to get out. He was stuck there, and he was like get any kind of clothes. He got like a pan, and then he was all excited. He got like rice, and just all day. He put in like 100,000 just requests and stuff from magazine, sending in coupons and articles and whatever. But people found out like where he was, so they would move him, and he thought he was getting something better, and he'd wake up in another place. So he won the game. I mean, after like a year.
This sounds like an episode of Dark Mirror, dude.
It does, but it was real. You can look it up. There's a like a little documentary someone did on it and how it was so cruel. He won.
We don't really need to get used to the idea that Real's going away.
He won.
Honestly.
He won. They came in there like, and he was like, They're like, no, you won. He's like, really? And then they offered him to redo a second season.
It seems like the authorities should have been involved. I don't know.
Yeah, you won't believe it if you.
I don't know what the lesson is there, Sean.
But my lesson is that people do want to know it's real. They do.
But
to see that.
But guys, Dolly 2 is doing images this year. Give it 3. It's doing a feature-length video of anything you want it to make. Reality's going to go bye-bye soon.
We're getting there, and this is one of the places that when I talk to people about AI and blockchain and stuff, they ask me, like, can this blockchain stuff do anything about proving whether something is made by an AI or a human or something? How do we differentiate these things? Because it's a tool that you can use to make awesome stuff. But when you don't know what was made by a person and what was like made by, it is going to get to that, Greg, what you're saying, where somebody can have an idea for a feature length film and say, hey, computer, write, film, produce all the actors in CGI, voice act them based on these actors' speech patterns, and make it about this, that, and the other thing in the style of this person, this particular director.
More than that, though.
Churn it out. That's the future we're heading towards. And that's,
you guys
weird.
saw what GPT chat could do, right? Like it could pull facts about you out if you ask it the right questions, right? Like you can just aim an AI with a text prompt at our live stream, and we will never have to do this again because people won't be able to tell the difference. Like that's where things are going to go.
Can I show something funny if I can get it? I might not be able to get it.
If it's not funny, then we all have to vote you. We can all vote you off the island, though.
There you go. Okay. All right, I'll do it. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it. I think it's here. Am I sharing? Okay, I'm sharing the audio. Hopefully this works. Hopefully I don't crash my machine here. All right, you guys here? Let's see here. All right, I'm gonna play this.
You are Joe Dragon. I don't think you could.
Whoops.
Know what exactly what you look like and where you live.
Well, I use a VPN, so
That is SoCap, Junior. I just pulled your IP. I've got it right now.
no, you don't. Say it.
Albuquerque, New Mexico. Albuquerque, New Mexico. That's where you're from.
That's not. How did? Hey,
Oh, I just pulled your IP. 308 Negra Aurora Lane, Albuquerque, New Mexico. That's you, isn't it?
no.
I'm on Google Earth right now. I see a pizza on your roof.
That's my grandma's house. Nice try.
No, what? So you're playing at your grandmother's house? You're a loser. Don't even go to. You're a loser. Playing at grandma's. What is she gonna make you? Cookies and milk? No.
Yeah, anybody who's ever played like online games and stuff.
Sorry.
Was
Did
that
you
made
see
by a? Was that generated by?
Supposedly, I didn't do
one
it.
of those-
But supposedly that was all.
I've seen
Did
some
you see
imitations
the one
that are
that
really good.
that Jack, and I always say his name wrong. Sean makes fun of me. Posiobek or Posobeki or whatever.
Pasobic or whatever.
Yeah, however you say his name. He did a Biden one, and it moved and looked, and it was like a deep fake of Biden saying that he was initiating the recruitment of 18-year-olds or whatever, the draft.
Yeah, this is kind of my point though. Is like we don't know what's real anymore.
Yeah. No, for sure.
All right. So,
Well, I
I'm
mean-
going to link in there to some information on that show in the private chat.
sounds good. All right.
Poor
So
guy.
we have 30 minutes left. I want to get through. We're gonna jump back in, unless there's any last thoughts. We're gonna jump back into the last game show, and then we'll have like closing talks and
Let me
thoughts,
get my
and
button.
whatever else we want to talk about. Sound good?
Sounds great.
Great.
Round
All
2,
right.
fight.
All right. So the next one is called "Who Made That?" And this is a fun little game. There's gonna be a question that comes up, and then after I finish, I'm gonna try it this way too. After I finish reading the questions, I'll unlock the buzzer, and then people can buzz in. Sound good?
Shit! I closed my buzzer.
Wait,
You're gonna
See?
you're gonna have to lose the game now. Or,
That's
what I did before, and then I couldn't find it.
I can repost the buzzer.
I'm doing it on my browser this time. I guess everybody can log in if they wanted to at this point.
No, it would have been really fun if I accidentally posted that in the comments. It was
We could just call the game. Bzzz.
but yeah, I think I hate reality television a lot. I like cooking competitions and but only when they're nice to each other. All right, somebody. All right, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 of you. Who's in here twice? Lisa and Sean are in here twice. But
yeah, it doesn't matter. Only
that's
only one of themselves will buzz.
Yeah, well, it can only have 8 people.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
That's why I was making sure that we still have everybody.
All
All
right.
we're good.
Who made
So
that?
it's locked. All right, let's check it out. Who made that? Nothing else. Who invented the GIF?
Oh, I don't know the guy's name. I know that he
It says
pronounces
the game
it
is
GIF.
full.
he pronounces it wrong.
Who who invented the GIF or the GIF?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Choosy
it is.
developers choose GIF was the phrase that the guy created. If anybody wants a hint, I can't buzz, so.
Oh, it's unlocked now.
Oh. No, I mean my game. The game is full with dead accounts. I can't get in.
Oh,
It
okay.
tells me that the game is full.
How about this? I'm gonna end the game.
We can just say that he buzzed because I think he's the only one that might answer.
Yeah, I can't remember the guy's name. I just know the catchphrase.
Oh,
What's the catchphrase?
Choosy
Carl
developers choose GIF was the original ad for it.
What was it?
Choosy developers choose GIF, like the peanut butter. Like that was the joke.
I like it.
It's,
I think
it's
Dave knows.
definitively
The
the
best
right
part is
answer, not to
that
pronounce
the-
it from the guy who made
the
it.
bad official pronunciation has led to nobody using it, which is the best part because pings beat them all out.
Well, pings don't move.
Yes.
All right.
Well,
Um,
WebIMS. There.
I have the answer, but I looked it up. So
What's the answer?
it's Stephen Wilhite.
Stephen Wilhite is not the answer. It was George Washington Carver.
Oh my God.
George Washington Carver
God.
Nice.
That's
invented
ridiculous.
the GIF. There you go. Next question. For these, we can just like say them. How about that? We'll try that out. And if it sucks, then it sucks. For the next question, who invented LinkedIn? Who created LinkedIn?
Oh God.
Invented? Wait, is that really an invention?
Who created? Who created LinkedIn?
I'm gonna look it up then. So
Was it the CIA?
It was not.
Who is the CIA?
Yeah, who is? Yeah.
It was not the CIA. It was Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs created.
No.
This is something I feel a lot of people don't know this, and I feel like they should.
See, this is like the stuff, by the way, John.
That was
if you
Lee
had these
Hoffman who
on-chain,
created LinkedIn,
so that
and some other guy.
so that you could make up the funnier answers, and we have to guess. Then you can still prove that it really was what you made up. But I guess
Is John just making up the answers at this point?
Yeah.
No, he was
George
would
Washington Carver
I
invented
know. First one.
way before computers were invented.
I'm
Cool.
with you on
Let's
this
check out the next one. See what we got. Who created Dragon Chain?
God.
All right, Lisa, what do you got?
I think it was this guy named Joe Rhodes.
That's probably wrong.
Tom
Joe
Hanks.
Is that your Joe Rhodes? Okay.
I mean, that's the
It
narrative.
was Elliot from Pete's Dragon. It was Elliot from Pete's Dragon.
There you go.
Joe Rhodes takes
It's
a lot
actually,
of
see,
credit
you
for
could
it.
argue that
Yeah.
because that is
Disney
owned by
Corporation.
Disney.
Right.
Hey, I didn't say it was
Iron
wrong.
Man could also be the creator of it as well.
All right. Next question. Who created Twitter? Hint, it's not Elon Musk. It was not Elon Musk.
Jack Dorsey and co.
Jack, yeah.
Man.
So that was incorrect. It is Larry
Larry
Bird.
Bird.
Larry Bird,
Actually,
the famous
half points for
basketball player
Birdman.
from the Celtics, also created Twitter. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, yeah.
That's why it has
He
that
has a
mascot.
short haircut there, by the way.
Yeah, this is an old school picture of it right there. All right.
Any picture is an old school picture because he's old.
Yeah, I remember him from NBA Jam on Super Nintendo.
I thought it was like FBI was Twitter and CIA was like Facebook and LinkedIn.
We'll find
Yeah,
out.
something like
No.
that.
Something like that.
Who created
Oh, here
Facebook?
we go.
Our
CIA.
overlord, CIA?
Yeah.
Actually,
That is correct. It was the CIA.
Ah.
Yeah.
Lisa with the first point of the game. Great. All right. Next question. Who created the video game No Man's Sky?
Sean Murray.
The highest got Abraxas because it's the best game ever.
Some of you are using the buzzer and some of you aren't, so this is very
Vitalik.
fun for me.
Just
Will Wheaton.
Will Wheaton. It was Joe. What did you say?
Vitalik.
And Lisa, did you have an answer for this?
No, I was just laughing. I was just laughing at you. I said John. Because you're trying to wrangle us.
Gotcha. I did not create No Man's Sky. I'm so sorry.
Once again, Tom
It
Hanks.
was drones. It was just drones created
Oh.
No Man's Sky.
Pretty good.
Kind of makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was the what are they called, Greg?
Right,
What are the
the algorithm kind of did make that game. That's
what are the
kinda messed
damn
up,
robots
actually.
called though? Not the
it was
enforcers, the
in,
damn
Sentinel.
the sentinels. Yeah, they're like
Sentinels.
drones. They're like drones. Yeah.
There you go. There you go. All right. Next
I
one.
wouldn't be surprised. They get mad when you take the world apart.
Who created Apple? Who created Apple?
Isaac Newton.
I'm gonna
Steve
go with
Jobs and the Wozniak guy.
Sir Isaac Newton.
Johnny Appleseed.
No. God. God
Gotcha.
created apples.
All right.
There
Let's
you
see.
go.
God or was one of them.
It is the serpent from the Garden of Eden.
Sean was the closest.
Sean was
Hi.
very close. The serpent from the Garden of Eden.
High pressure Apple salesman.
Here's the first.
That deserves at least half a point.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got 2
Sean,
half
you can have
points so
half a
far.
point. So right now you're in the lead. You're ahead of
I
Dave.
said Birdman for Larry Bird, so that was another half point.
All right, next question. Again, who created Apple?
Eris, the goddess of chaos.
Johnny Appleseed.
The snake from the Garden of Eden, the serpent.
I don't know if I did this right.
I'm going with also the CIA.
You did this nice.
Oh wait, that was a slide that wasn't supposed to be there.
Oh,
All
okay.
right, this is the last question. I'm going to be honest. Every question we've had so far has been worth 1 point. This one is worth 100 points. So if you get this right, you win all of it. I think that's how the math is going to work out on this one.
Yeah, so if we all know that we didn't get any except Lisa got one, then we all win.
I got 5.
I don't know how that works.
Don't tell me that the last
so
one is
this-
coronavirus.
Sean's assigning half points to himself.
No, we
So-
did. He assigned me the half point.
I gave
I
you
have
one
five,
half
I have
point,
five,
and then
I
you
have
gave
one.
yourself a second half point
And
for
Gabe
letting
has
Bird.
1.
Gave you one half
Joe has
point.
3.
I have
This-
3.
Yeah.
This last question is for all of the points. This last question is for all the points. Who created 2.5 Men? Joe.
I wanted to buzz in on the last one.
Oh, well, there was nothing there.
I don't know that. I've
Anybody
never
who
seen
created
that, so.
2.5
It's probably a
Danny
Sheen,
DeVito.
right? Yeah.
Tom Hanks.
Fauci.
Charlie Sheen.
Fauci.
These I want to know the justification for Fauci. Like, how did he create 2.5 Men? I love it. So I'm so sorry, but all of you were wrong. So
Tiger Blood.
none of you are going to get the points. It was Steve Jobs, Steve Wozniak, and Ronald Wayne. A lot of people.
Which
think
one's
they
the
created-
half?
Should have at least been the I won't call it.
who do you think it should have been?
Well, the question should have been the original cast, and then it would have been because that would be thinking of these guys as the original.
You know what? For my
No,
fake
none of these
questions,
answers
I
have
should
been
have done
right.
better. You're right.
I think you did a great job.
There
No, it was awesome.
I thought that game
thanks
was
for
really
playing.
fun once I figured the rules out.
That's all. That's what this game's all about. Figuring it
Task
out.
failed successfully.
There you go. Great job. Thank you for playing and indulging me in my game. It's been a blast.
I love it.
Thank you so
I
much.
think this is awesome.
We need to do this again. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, just I've got a few ready for whenever. But yeah,
Dude, we should just have game show night or game show day or whatever we want to call it, wherever you're watching it, whatever time you're watching this. One day a month. I think that should be a proposal.
I did make a proposal to have another one hosted by John, where the not contestants, but that the replies would essentially create games. So people would have a chance to make games up, and we'd have to interpret them. John would have to interpret them, and then we'd have to play them.
I would love that.
Awesome.
Right?
He's got a lot of practice from college making up the game.
Because the great thing is, it could be, you could make it work. So it'd be pretty cool.
I'd love to. It's funny. There's a TV. I don't know if anybody watched like college humor videos on YouTube. They have a streaming service called Dropout, and on that they have a game show called Game Changer, and it's the only game that changes every time you play it. And every week he
Not
makes
true.
up a new game, and the contestants come on. They don't know what the game is, and then they have to play the game. And usually it's very sweet and heartfelt in the end. But I love that show.
Cool.
So, yeah, I
That's
would be-
awesome.
That's how we approach
Like the
today's
Riskopoly
game
of
show.
game shows.
It was the what?
The Riskopoly of game shows. You guys played Riskopoly before?
I mean, I've played Risk and I've played Monopoly.
It's very
but I
easy.
haven't played
You just
Riskopoly.
instead of rolling the dice for armies, you buy them with Monopoly turn money.
Oh.
That's really interesting.
But then you also can make like back alley deals where you back out of a country and someone gives you Park Place.
Proxy War, the game.
That's
That would be
that's
good.
like
That's good.
a really weird like multiverse game of like how your money is good in one universe and not good in another. And it's
Yep,
interesting.
the crypto use cases keep popping up, don't they?
I love it. Yeah, I'd love to do a game show where the game is crowdsourced, essentially. That sounds great. Somebody describes it, and then you have to post it at least like 24 hours before the show, hopefully, so I can create it.
Give some sort of like Mad Libs fill in the blank. What does this got? Like, give me a game show kind of thing. That could be cool.
I was gonna do that, but then like all the questions were like, "Here's a way to use crypto." I'm like, "That's not
Well,
like."
if we were to do like say make a lair where it would be the game show, literally would be pretty sweet to do that, where people could propose changes to it, or every week it could be different. It could be totally different rules, and in the end, you could have the either the contestants act as a mini DAO to interpret the rules. It's like, well, this is kind of vague. How do we do this? You could do that type of thing. I don't know. You can do a bunch of cool stuff,
Dude.
Pretty
A TikTok channel could be the way you get new contestants, right? Like you could literally have people post answers to all the questions, and if they got them right, they were in the running for the next heat.
I think a way you could use it with Matter would be that you would put up a question with a bounty on it. So like if you guys are my panel, Joe answers it and gets it right, he gets paid out that Matter.
Yes.
And if he doesn't get it right, he pay it's like a 50% pay back or something like that.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
Dude, or the whole thing,
that.
the stake could pay out all at once on the actual live game show at the end of a month of games.
Yeah, that would be really interesting. And then you could even add another layer if we really wanted to get complicated. I would need a lot of help from Amanda to probably do this. But like everybody else could bet on whether or not Joe would get it right or wrong as well. So if you get it right, and all the people that bet that you get it wrong, Joe gets like paid out or a dividend of that, as in like almost like having lie in the question.
That's awesome.
I will also always play no matter what, and this is true even if it's against the rules, by the way. Anyone who wants to bribe me to say a wrong answer and tell me what to say, you're welcome to hit me up.
Now we know.
It's megatexas.eth is the ENS address, so just make sure that it comes with what you think will convince me to do it.
Yeah, they can pay out in the messages or whatever. That'd be really fun. Yeah, you guys. Yeah, everybody knows now that Greg has opened to bribes, so that's good.
In the game show context,
just remember to check that box
so far
when you do your taxes.
Oh yeah. Did you get a bribe? Yes. Yeah. I got bribed on a game show to get the wrong answers. Here's your cut.
Yeah, there you go.
Of Matter. Yeah.
So
I'm doing taxes this season.
I'm totally going to
currently,
sell it
not
into a token that's dumping just so I can post a tax loss and screw them
I
out.
have a tool for you that would help, Dave.
All right, I'll have to
my
sidebar
friend.
on that.
Yeah, Pro Bitcoin Solutions.
We got another 15 minutes. Let's take a look and see if there's any more questions on the forum or on the post. I think there were only 2, but I don't remember. I just want to double check. Oh yeah, there's the last one. Here it is.
From Juicy J.
This is from Juicy J. A frequent contributor to Coffee with Den. Really like having them in the comments section. Topic: games between the layers. Blockchain game shows can provide a great opportunity for Lairs to collaborate and network. The blockchain games can offer rewards for players who are members of the Lairs. Lairs can also create their own private blockchain game or other exclusive rewards for their members who enter and participate in the contest. Additionally, Lairs can use the blockchain games platform to host special events such as tournaments or airdrops, as well as stream live events. Finally, Lairs can use the platform to create sponsored competitions, allowing them to offer customized prizes and rewards to its members.
Damn, that's like the coolest fucking thing I've heard in a while.
Yeah.
We need to bring an entire conference around the new Highland games, which is the Dragon Chain games. All of the Lairs come as a team.
That would be pretty funny. And you had to give a communal answer.
Yes. Yeah, that's pretty cool. There are new questions, new replies, by the way, on that post if you refresh.
Oh, sweet.
If we have time, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like a hackathon for games. That'd be a lot of fun, actually.
That makes me think about leaderboard data. We should have it available on a per layer basis so that Lairs can compete with each other based on whatever arbitrary metrics, like number of posts or number of energy spent in this layer versus others or stuff like that. And then they could just run their own little contests and games within the Lairs.
That's pretty fun. It's like house points, but for
yeah. It is like house points. Yeah.
I've been playing a lot of Hogwarts Legacy. But yeah, that'd be
How would
really
the anonymous
interesting.
layer attend though?
Yeah. And then you also know which you would also be able to like be like, hey, this layer is like popping, it has a lot of traction, like let's go and spend our time and energy and matter there. That'd be really cool. I can imagine how the gaming layer hosting a contest to win a new high-end gaming PC or a PS5 or something similar. If there were enough people to want to crowdsource a prize, you could do that. We could pay our friend Teaser to that. That's me. Make it awesome. There also, I need to mention, there is a prize for this week. So I think, I would say like Sean probably had the most points for this one, but I could also... You could like maybe raffle it off on the World Blockchain Roundtable or something. It is I was going to give away the first NFT of Heather Gray.
Oh, really? All right.
That's
got some legacy to it. That's a famous
kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Kind of.
All right.
It's already
the one
made.
and only.
I'll post it in the World Blockchain Roundtable on the comments of this. It's on my laptop, so I can't.
Yeah, if you search DIN though, if you search DIN for it, I think you might find some keyword hits and bring it up. It's on one. That's an old one. That's a throwback. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really. I think that's from like one of the first episodes I was on. Yeah, it's an NFT of Heather Gray. It's fantastic. Cool. Let's take a look at the next comment. I go off, so for like the time of the show, I go off the live time, or by like, are we ending at 12:30?
Live time.
We usually go by the live time, yeah.
Cool. We got another 15 minutes.
Lifetime plus 5, right?
Best part of blockchain and game shows, I think, is the transparency. Okay, so somebody else that likes the fact that things aren't rigged and that it's real. So contestants can trust the game. Yeah, we talked about that. Great. Not rigging games.
I totally think that not rigged ones would be cool too, right? Like I'm not discounting the case. I think that there is a place in games for rigging being fun, but I don't.
Yeah, it says pro fraud Greg over there.
I mean, that's literally the show The Mole.
I already made a finance chain joke today. Otherwise, I'd do it again.
All right, great. So thank you, I am for that comment. Yield Farmer. How can a blockchain game show ensure fairness and transparency in the selection of contestants and distribution of prizes?
Yeah, distribution of prizes
is pretty straightforward.
Yeah, that's the low hanging fruit part of it. But the selection of contestants is interesting too, because I
guess you could random number generate it like how Joe did
with
his keyboard. Have it as like a thing in the future to be like, these are the people that get selected.
I think you should enter everybody in a no lose lottery, where you buy a ticket to get on, and if you don't get on, then you actually get just paid back your ticket price. Yeah, and the whole thing is you just like take the pot and you invest it in something that returns some yield while you wait.
All right, that's way too smart for what I was doing. That's awesome. Look, I'm gonna take all your money and just hold it for like 1 month, make whatever percent, hope the market doesn't crash.
Promise not to buy FTX.
Yeah.
Right.
But both of these questions,
that's taking yourself the pattern's what's important, because if it was something for selection, it would be let's say we have 1,000 people that have been in the system and have an opportunity to be live on the show or something. You could select them the day before the show with this method. Everybody would know it was a fair selection. And you'd have, I guess, you'd have to have like alternates in case somebody can't physically come to the show, if that's what the show is, right? But you can use that same as
you could do a
names.
Randomized selection from a list like we do for Den new lair votes, right? Like it could be a sequence though. So you have like this time it's 2, 15, and 7 are the ones that randomly get generated. And then the wave after that, right? Like
the interesting thing though is it's not random. It's a really weird thing because
it's not random. It's just
provably unpredictable.
Exactly.
But it's not random, right? So it's a strange
provably unpredictable would be way better than random.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
That's fun. Who would so the only thing I had too is like, how would you be able to screen your contestants? Because like that's a little bit of a part of it too. Like,
well,
is it?
It could be like where we had the 10 people today, and we can say, okay, 3 of you get to play, and then that's how we choose, right?
Call me a crazy crypto anarchist, but I think everybody ought to have a shot at being on the game show.
I'm talking about weeding out people that go on there just to like scream, "Stop eating."
Oh, we
meat,"
can just have a
and-
gong.
Like those people that come on Twitter Spaces just to be like that guy and destroy your Twitter Spaces.
You
Fine.
mean most of the people on Twitter?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that seems like
Well,
maybe
But
you
you know
just
what I
have a
mean?
stake for playing the show so that you get slashed if you don't be a good sport.
Like you
Maybe something like
lose,
that.
you lose money if you have to put up.
that
matter
goes
in
to the
order.
reputation stuff that they work on Den, though.
We're gonna
where
need a
you-
whole blockchain for
Yeah,
this.
you get held accountable with your reputation.
Yeah, that's a way. That's a way to do
or
it.
the
is
behavior.
That's
making
just
you
the
put up
threshold.
something, making you put up something as basically as collateral, saying I'm
Yeah.
not gonna purposefully go like be a dick and try
Like,
to screw stuff up.
All of the lot you own in one layer
What if you just
is what
put
you
up?
stake.
What if you just put up your reputation, like your rep on Den? So it's like I'm gonna go on, and if I'm whatever, I just get like 1 stars everywhere, and have to re-earn my place back in the Denverse as a denizen, right?
Yeah, so like you can't apply unless you have like a 4-star or better rep, as an example.
Right.
Of,
That's
of
what we should have
filtering.
used on the
This show,
umbrella
on this
conversation too.
Or no, you have to, in order to be a named
Reputation
entity
thing.
and not anonymous, you have to have a certain rep. So you can still come in and participate, but you're not there yet.
That was something I wanted to talk about for the current events thing with Elon Musk. I listened to the Morgan Stanley Elon Musk
Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
thing. He said something about Twitter, and he got nervous. We talked about this on me and Alicia's show. He said that the Twitter app should be called the X app, but he said
Yeah,
PayPal
the
was a
everything
good
app.
start.
Yeah.
PayPal was like but didn't go far enough. That Twitter will be the largest financial instrument in the world.
Yeah.
But the X
Yeah.
app, so it's going to be like huge. And then, but he talked about with Twitter, they're going to institute, which I thought was exciting for us, a reputation system. Which I don't know if they're going to base it on blockchain or what.
Yeah, I wonder how they derive those scores.
Well, I mean, as long as they do the open protocol thing still, I'm cool with what they do. Right?
Well,
Like,
it's going
but
to be it'll be
it has
regulated
to
by
be
the
with the open
community. So if
protocol.
someone says, if somebody makes a post, politician makes a post, and then you say you're a liar, whatever, January 6th was this or whatever, then the community would ping you and say that's not true or that is true. So the community would regulate your reputation
Sounds
score.
familiar.
Yeah, I
And
don't.
until,
I don't.
but
I don't really.
but
like,
until
this
they
makes
clean
me
up the
super anxious.
bots,
I was gonna
on
say,
that.
and Den never ran into any issues with that ever, right?
But then, so when there's a comment,
Den has a lot of
If you
experience
were poor, you'd know
to
that-
offer them if they want to talk, actually, because we actually have behavior data now on chain, verifiable human
what happens
behavior.
to Twitter when
to-
Elon Musk moves to Mars
design
and
to.
it hasn't been sufficiently depowered enough? Like, if all Elon Musk's tools are waiting for the next CEO, we're fucking screwed
well,
with
it's
Twitter.
going to be run
It'll
by
go back
Chat
to being a nightmare.
GPT. Go to the next AI.
Well, just like you shouldn't
Elon's
rely on
done.
me to know if the rep on Den is reliable. It's about the behavior. It shouldn't have
Right.
to ever hope that it's not Klaus in there taking over for Elon Musk, right? So
Well, I mean, I think we have to worry about getting too excited about what he does, because he does really smart stuff, but at the same time, like, he's kind of like our political party in a way, and you don't want your political party given too much power to the system in advance.
Yeah.
Well,
that's like what Joe-
You don't know who's going to be in charge next. That's
Yeah,
what-
that's
we
what
tried
Joe was
to-
basically saying, is like you have to build a system that is resilient to
And that's
whoever
what
comes next.
we spent years doing, and we
Right.
even at low scale, high scale, we tried to talk to them under Jack. We did talk to them. They weren't interested. They was like, well, we want to know how to fix community, because they didn't have any sense of community. We're like, well, we have that answer for you. We can show you it. We can do this, whatever.
Yeah,
But
they
they
were
need
looking at-
identity. Their biggest problem is they're never going to have a real community, or if they're actually going to pretend like the community is going to decide if X or Y reply is accurate or not, is going to be bullshit unless they fix identity.
More urgently, though, they have a
they aren't interested in
They
that.
have a
No,
read
they're not.
efficiency and optimization
Well-
problem. Like it's like mostly just the text being displayed right now that's really problematic.
So I
Like
think
they
I
have some
think
serious
Twitter.
problems over there. But
I think Twitter is a great space to go explore on another episode of World Blockchain Roundtable. This has been so much fun. Thank you so much for having me and letting me come host this wonderful show and make up some ridiculous games for all of you. We've got about 6 minutes left, so I'm going to let everybody get a little plug in first. Talk about whatever you're doing, whatever you're working on, whatever you're excited about, or just like little advice you want to give the denizens out there or whoever's watching. Dave, you want to go first for me?
Sure will. So we in about 2.5 hours, we're going to have a governance call over on Den Social. So I just want to shout out that we do a lot of like some of them are shows, some of them are just meetings and stuff like that on Den. So if you don't have an account, go sign up for one. That would be my advice. Go grab a Den account and help us build that. And if you do have an account, go flex your governance weight. And if you want to increase your governance weight, hit me up over in the coffee layer and we can talk about how that works. Because I think not just with Den, even though I like to talk about that primarily, there's a lot of interesting tools that exist now that are free that people can use. Maybe a little bit of a learning curve, which will get better over time. But I just wanted to say, go learn how to use some of these new tools that are coming out. The AI stuff is tools to use. Blockchain stuff is tools to use. And it depends on how you use them. You can use them for whatever you want. And one of the things that keeps me excited is not knowing what it's going to be used for next and not knowing what's coming next. So I don't know. I'll steal some of Greg's typical thunder and say, go build something with it that's interesting that may or may not work out, but you won't know till you try it. So more of that.
now I have to come up with something else to tell people about now.
You got one person between you and when you have to go. Satoshi Sean, you got something for us?
Yeah. You check me and Lisa out on our channels on Tuesday. For Truth Tuesday, I got the meme review coming this weekend. Also this weekend, I have an interesting interview. It's kind of impromptu. It should be tomorrow. Greg, did you get a chance to look at that thing I mentioned you in on Twitter?
Not yet, but wait. What's the deal? Tell me about it.
Inside jokes.
It's
Here's my outro. Inside joke.
I don't have a little bit of time to go over it. So there's you go to Truth Justice. It's Sparta Justice on Twitter.
Yeah. Yeah, the question. Yeah, you talk after the.
So this tribunal has been formed, and they have served. It is insane. They have served the WHO. They've served. I mean, listen to the defendants: lockstep vaccination, genocidal pandemic, criminal conspiracy, including and not limited to Bill and Melinda Gates individually and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab, and officers and right has all their names: George Soros, Warren Buffett, convicted vaccination, genocidal pandemic, and neural monitoring governmental executive defendants: Xi Jinping, Vladimir Putin, all these people, Russian Federation, Joseph Biden, brought all these people, and they were served an immediate cease and desist to the WHO
Under what
and all
authority?
criminal defendants listed below. Immediate cease and desist, a criminal conspiracy to commit war crimes, genocide crimes against humanity, and to arrest and incarcerate these criminal defendants.
Under what authority?
So what is this?
All constitutional law enforcement officers worldwide are being served with.
It's a Swiss banker
It's through
and
Interpol.
some people from Canada, and Ann Vandersteel is a witness of it. I don't know. There's some other people involved in it that
There's a
have
famous
been
Supreme Court case that
proclaimed a
this
judge.
really
I don't know.
reminds me of. And I got to tell you guys, this is actually kind of interesting, but also funny. A guy by the name of Gerald Mayo sued in federal court Satan and his staff at one point. This was actually a court opinion written on this. Like the Supreme Court chimed in on whether or not you could sue Satan. And unfortunately, the precedent has already been set. All of these people are probably off the hook under Gerald Mayo v. Satan and his staff because, the
part where
this rule is
the part where Sean's story might have some legs is where we were talking about sovereign immunity the other day and how the state can't be held accountable in its own courts.
Mhm.
This is a different court. It's my understanding, I haven't looked into it a lot, but that it's a tribe or a Indian court, tribunal court. That's where it's a different court, so they could be held accountable in that indigenous court. I don't know, under their
If
authority.
it's international law, then it doesn't matter what your country says.
Guys,
Okay.
I would love to talk about this at length.
Anyway.
And that's the problem.
Yeah.
since we're
I wanted to
going
know
out,
more from
but
you.
So Sean's going to have an interview this weekend about that.
We
And
should
I
talk
think
about it, though. I did see your
an actual
post.
judge in Switzerland.
Sean, I did see your post. I forgot that I saw your post.
Okay.
Or I forgot which post it was that I saw, but I did look at this. So we should talk.
Okay.
Anything else, Sean, before we go to Greg?
But yeah,
Unless
they're should be coming on this tomorrow in the evening sometime. I think I'm gonna have like 3 or 4 people on and
Dude.
just find out more about it and what's going on and anything that people can hear in a way to empower themselves and to not be, especially when you look at like international stuff. That's like it makes you less scared and I think you feel a lot more empowered about your own country if you're able to see that you do have some power like in the international community. So I think it's good to see and good to hear just all around.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
Well,
powerful.
I'll watch that. I'll check that out.
Well, I would love to come on and talk to you guys about it too, if you guys have extra room. So
If you well come on, that'd be awesome. Yeah.
cool. We'll set it up after the show.
my counsel, my expert counsel.
No, I can't
we've
represent
got
anybody.
We've
but-
got 3 minutes left before this show ends. So
Okay.
I
I just wanted to real quick say one thing. We didn't do current events tonight or today on possibly one of the worst possible days not to do current events in the history of this country for like a long time. We have history book chapters that are full of less sordid shit during the Nixon administration. Like we're in a weird place right now as a country. So I'm sorry we didn't talk about current events today. If anybody wants to ask any current events questions or talk to any of us about it, you can find us on Den. You can hit me up at Design Heretic on there or find me on Twitter, whatever. Happy to chat with you. If you had questions you wanted to have batted around and we didn't do it for you this time.
Are you talking about the Bitcoin that the government just moved to from Silk Road's Bitcoin to
I hadn't even
Coinbase?
heard about that yet.
Anyway, I know we got to wrap it up. All right, find Lisa on the Mighty Lair at Den Social and on Twitter, and I've got a new merch store on my website, likequeenlisa.net. So check that out.
great. And you can't buy that butterfly outfit. That's a one of a kind. So that is not on the merch store.
Well, with enough Litecoin, maybe. I don't know.
That's true.
Everybody
All
has a
right.
price.
And Joe, what do you got to plug?
Follow me on Den for the best memes and political content, though sometimes anonymously. So do follow anonymous as well, probably more importantly. And I promise to everyone that I'm going to force add pithy to every fucking line in the show notes for the future show notes. All right. So anyway, that's it.
Great. I have no clue what that means, but I love it.
Why
I'll
so
just get a
pithy about it?
spanking. I don't know. I think I'll get a spanking.
And I've been your host. My name is John. You can find me on Den as T Swift or Die. Check out Coffee with Den on Wednesday mornings at 9 a.m. It's usually just me and Dave chatting, and then I Am for AM, and another buddy of ours, Gravity Crab, comes on. So we'd love some more friends popping
We have
up.
topics.
Right?
We have topics.
We have topics, things, stuff that we talk about. Really, whatever's. I think yesterday was comedy, and then we quickly did not. And then we quickly talked about music instead.
Yeah.
Do live musical guests? You need that.
Yeah, I play a lot of live music that nobody wants to hear. on the show. So come watch me get muted by Dave really quickly. Yeah. Is there anything else I need to do? Okay. There's a document for closing notes. I thanked everybody. Okay. The theme for next week is blockchain for restaurants, which is, I think, is another one I pitched.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think I'll be on the show, actually. Share this episode. The more you share, the more our hosts and topic contributors will get. Like, subscribe, comment below. Thank you so much again for being on the show and joining us. And we'll see you next week talking about restaurants.
Cool.
Bye.
Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best.
Adaptable, raw capital, label radical yet rational. A tactical approach is palpable if this animal is fallible, but that conclusion is laughable. So with revolve detachable from the mandible, you see it now.